Saturday. We made it. We made it. Hello, everyone. My name is Wee Claire, and welcome to a Wee Chat. This is my talk show, which goes out on Fridays on Twitch, except it's not Friday, and this isn't Twitch. This is Insomnia Gaming Festival. Have you had a good time? Heck yeah. Whose first time is it here at Insomnia? Yeah, we've got a few. Yeah, I know who you are. It's Kristen from the Wee Squad. Can we have a round of applause for Kristen, who's come from Canada? Sorry, Kristen, I'm so sorry. I've just embarrassed you, I'm so sorry. Hi, Kristen. And who's been here before, yeah? Second time, third time? Round of applause for you guys. Heck yeah. Okay, so how does this work? It's a talk show, right? We've got two amazing guests and our 400-year-old magical reindeer pal, Rudy. Yes, I know that sounds weird, but you will see what we're all about soon. But before we introduce our first guest, please watch this clip.
Shoot! Get down! We gotta get out of here.
You all right?
Yeah, I think so. Thanks.
You can thank me later, when we're safe.
Holy shit.
Please give a huge round of applause for the wonderful Miss Stepanie Panisello. Please sit down, sit down. So I think you heard me going, mama, 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 mama. I love Stepanie. Stepanie, how does it feel to be on a Wee Chat live? You've been on the actual Twitch show before.
It's so funny because it feels both incredibly comforting and wonderful and also a little scary because you know me quite well.
Yes, I do. Don't worry, I'm not going to reveal all of our secrets. Maybe some of them, but not all of them. Stepanie, you have not been to Insomnia Gaming Festival before, so what have your first impressions been of the event so far?
I love it. I first off love that this is strictly for video games.
Yep.
Which I've been to a lot of different Comic-Cons and different pop culture conventions, but for me, this, I think, is where my love of geekdom started, was in video games. So I love it. Everyone's been so wonderful between the staff, everybody here, and between all of you guys, which I absolutely adore. So I'm having a blast. Oh, and the lighting is like this beautiful natural lighting, so I always like look fabulous in my photos. It's great. So I'm loving it here.
Gotta have good lighting, you guys. Gotta have good lighting. What are the kind of things that people say to you? I mean, you're known for Claire Redfield and the Resident Evil 2 remake, but you've done so many other things as well. But is that who people connect to first when they come and meet you?
Yeah, it's funny because I think Claire Redfield has been probably the most iconic character that I've ever played. So it's definitely the first character that people connect when they meet me. But the funny part is when they find out all the other characters that I play, when they meet me afterwards, go, wait a minute, you're in Genshin Impact? You're Cloud Retainer? What? Or they're like, wait, you were in Marvel's What If? You were Betty Ross? Who? What? Like, those moments I think are really fun for me because they don't even realize what's going on, and it helps me remind myself that, like, oh, I got some like ridiculous character range that goes on. So yeah.
I mean, I'm a big Marvel fan, so when I read that you were Betty Ross in What If, I was like, oh my God, that is you! Crap! I mean, what is it like, being part of so many incredible fandoms? It must be quite amazing, right?
I love it. I still have to pinch myself all the time because, like, I truly do feel blessed for what it is that I get to do. I truly do. And it's one of those things where I'm just so thankful for the things that come in. and that it's so well received, that, you know, that all of you guys are like, hey, you know what, I like this, I enjoy this, you know. So I feel lucky. That's what it is. So
You know what strikes me when I do, I mean, you know I do a lot of conventions, you do a lot of conventions as well. And I think what strikes me about fandoms, and I'm not trying to take away from huge, huge celebrities that have their fans as well, there's something really lovely about communities around things like Resident Evil, Marvel, and I just feel that there's just something a little bit more special about the community feel. Would you say that that's correct as well? Because you stream on Twitch too, right?
I do. So I love what I do as an actor, right? And that definitely feeds me and allows me to create and all of that. However, when it comes to community, that feeds me in a different way. And I'll say that because, so I started streaming for the very first time just for fun. I wasn't gonna do it regularly or anything. I was just like, you know what, I called it a Claireception. So I played as myself for the first time, you know, and kind of put it out there for everyone. And the way it was received was so big that I decided to do it again. And when we all went through, I hate to bring it back because I know we all have some PTSD, but through COVID, that's when it all connected deeply, and I realized the like hunger for and desire for community big time. And I think that's when I decided to continue streaming. And my, you know, my name on there is Because I Claire, which for those of you guys that are fans of Claire Redfield, you know, the whole reason she does everything that she does is the line, because I care, right? So it is a pun on it, but I really mean it. The whole reason I even stream is because of the community, is because I have noticed that sometimes people assume that the horror community or the gaming community, like, oh no, they're just like, you know, if they like horror, they must be like rude people, or they must not like this, they must not like that. Oh, they just play video games, like blah, blah, blah. You guys are legit some of the kindest people ever. I'm not kidding. Like, you guys have been so amazing, not only with me, but with one another. And the fact that I get to do that on my platform, you know, whether it be Twitch or through my Instagram or whatever it be, to see that, you guys bonding in that way, that pays tenfold for what I get when I get to come on and see that. So I love that.
Do you think, not to bring up the C word, COVID again, but
Yeah.
I do completely agree with you that I think that time almost bonded us together in a quicker way, much faster. There was a much more of a cohesion because of what we were all going through. If that hadn't happened, do you think that bond would be as tight, or do you think that sort of quickened it for you?
I mean, so interestingly enough, our game is about, you know, a post-apocalyptic world, and it all happened through an outbreak. So it's a little interesting that that was going on. And one of the lines that my character says in the game was, let's get through this, both of us. And I turned that into, let's get through this, all of us, during COVID. And yes, do I think that it maybe happened a little faster? I don't know. I think maybe it expanded the audience more because we were all on the medium of the internet. And I'll be the first one to tell you, I'm a big believer in go out and do things, go out and meet people. I'm a huge believer of that. But I've also realized the importance of connecting and opening up your world to a bigger audience, because when you are on the internet, you're opening up your community. Yes, your fandom brings you together, but your humanity keeps you together. You know what I mean? So that's, yeah. So I do think yes, but it would have happened anyway.
Do you know what I really love about you, Stephanie, is the fact that you're such a dork, you really throw yourself into the character, even at conventions. You've got the red jacket. I mean, what is going on here is like a kind of...
Oh, so this is, okay, I gotta show you guys. I'm obsessed. Oh wait, this just fell off. But, so this guy I found, I was in Spain with my family, but it's like a gun holster, but it's a purse. I just live the like video game life, you know? I'm just like, oh, I wanna be a badass, so like, I'll just go find something that makes me feel that way.
I really like that normalized gun holsters. Never thought I would say that before.
No.
But you look amazing.
Thank you. I found another one that's like, it goes like right here. Oh, hello.
It's okay. We got someone
I got
coming.
you. No.
I was told this would happen. Production
here.
value is really high, you guys. Big budget.
Hey, Claire. It's because Claire will help you out here.
Thank you. I feel like this is our own Claireception.
I know, this is our Claireception. When I met her for the first time, I was like, so my channel is because I Claire, and when we raid people, we say, because we Claire. And her channel is legit, we Claire.
I feel like you need to raid me now, so I get utterly confused.
Very confusing.
If you raid me on a Friday night, I probably will be drunk as well, so that will be even more confusion. But I love the fact that you throw yourself into it. I mean, when you first got that role and you got that call or the email, do you still get that feeling of, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, this is really happening? Or are you cool about it? Are you quite cool?
Now with every job I get?
Yeah.
Dude, I still love it. I still love it. Like I right before I left, I got an email. They're like, "Oh, you booked a thing," and I still get excited, you know. And then while I was away, we were at dinner, all of us, and I was like, "I don't understand what this is. I got a thing. What is it? What is it? What is it? Oh, I got another thing." I was like, "Yes!" So it still excites me. It still excites me, and that's how I know I'm in the right business, you know. So I get excited about life, and I think that's what keeps it coming, you know. And I like to say, hey, thank you again. Hey, thank you, you know. Like, I don't know, I'm cheesy. I get deep with you all. Like, I'm a big believer in gratitude, be thankful, and it just keeps it fun, so.
Are there any moments like, you know, you're so good at what you do, you know, that's why you get booked for these jobs, that's why you're so great, you know, and, you know, people love you as well. But were there ever any hard moments? I'm going to talk specifically about Claire Redfield now, where you're in the booth, you know, you're trying to get through a scene, anything that comes to mind that you thought was particularly difficult and challenging, something that you learned about yourself?
Yeah, well, there was two things that one of my concerns was about the, you know, acting with a child actor.
Right.
I was a little concerned about that. But honestly, then like I realized, like, oh no, me and kids get along so easily because I just play and they play, so we were good. And she was fantastic, so wonderful. But I think what I learned, I guess, about myself and career-wise was when I was creating a new version of Claire. That was a lot of pressure because she was an iconic character. We also at that time didn't even know how well received the game was gonna be. So we were just like, okay, we're just kind of doing this thing, right? And so when I got her, I was like, oh, awesome, fantastic, da-da-da. But then I was like, wait a minute, I have to be in these shoes. Am I recreating her? Am I doing what has already been done? What am I doing? And then I started going like, oh my God, like, you know, who are my favorite, you know, protagonists, female protagonists? I was like, I love Tomb Raider, so I'm a big Lara fan, you know? And then I was like, I love Ellie in The Last of Us, you know? Like, I love that spunkiness. And so I was like, is she like this? Is she like that? And I remember, I almost was like talking myself into a frenzy because I was trying to figure her out. And I remember talking to the director, and I was like, I don't know, you know, I was trying to figure it out. And then at the end of the first day, we were all hanging out, and Mr. H, who's the main developer for all of Capcom, he's like the original for all the ideas and stuff. He was like, or producers, I'm sorry. He, you know, looked at me, and I was like, do you want me to do anything differently? Do you want me, you know? And he looked at me, he was like, no, you are Claire. Whatever you do is her. And the second I was told that, it was like these shackles of what I had to be went away. I could be whatever I wanted to be, and I could just feed and add and, you know, keep her essence, but make her mine. And that was a big deal because that actually changed the way the rest of my career happened, because I decided I was going to take risks because our original Claire did not cuss. And I thought, sorry for those of you guys that don't like it, I thought she needs to. That is part of who she is. There's a sassiness to her, and that was going to give her that extra little spunk. So that changed a lot for me, actually, in that moment.
I mean, it would be kind of weird if, like, you know, Claire's doing her badass thing, shoots like a zombie in the head and goes, "Oh dear, what a shame." Like, I think you need to swear a little bit.
Right?
Exactly. But it's good that you injected that into the character as well. But for those, we're gonna get our next guest out soon, but I wanted to ask Stepanie, for those here who have a dream that they want to follow, it could be anything, it could be following the footsteps of Stepanie, it could be something else, but
Which, by the way, I prefer you guys to be empowered than to follow my footsteps. Be you, be you, be you.
What would you say to people here who maybe suffer from imposter syndrome, or they're not sure of themselves, but they want to follow their passions? What would you say to them?
Ooh, that's a deep one.
Sorry, I'm going to end on a deep one. Sorry.
Yeah, it's, let's get deep again. So imposter syndrome, honestly, I think is very common for a lot of us. That doesn't mean that I still don't get those moments, right? But I think the big thing is to learn to listen to your intuition. So just learn to trust yourself. The best relationship you will ever have is with yourself. So I think that instead of caring so much about the outside world and how they see you and what they think of you, learn to understand the difference between your ego talking, right? This like voice that's trying to keep you protected, which there's nothing wrong with that, it's just trying to keep you safe, and what your true voice inside, your true soul inside is really wanting. Because when you start doing that and you start to take care of trusting yourself, everything comes into play. Everything you want starts happening. Everything that, it's like you start finding joy because you're actually listening to yourself and living the authentic version of you. So I would say that.
Guys, give a round of applause for Stepanie, please. One of my favorite people ever.
I feel like I gave you all a TED Talk.
Welcome to our TED Talk, you
Welcome
guys.
to my
Welcome
TED
to our TED Talk, yes. Stefanie's amazing. She's going to be sitting here with us for the rest of the show. I just want to make reference to the fact that we're also live on Twitch right now. So if you're watching along on Twitch, please spam out the Wii Squad emotes, all the yasses, all the love hearts. And can we have a round of applause for everyone at home watching, please? Just say hi. Hello. Yeah, guys at home, everyone's saying hi. Everyone's saying hello. Now, it's time for our second guest. I'm very, very excited. But before we introduce him, please take a look at this clip.
Drifter, stranger, mutant. Never chose to be a witcher. Fate chose for me.
Not from Velen. Where you from?
Kaer Morhen. Kedwin.
It's a Geralt of Rivia himself. The Butcher of Blaviken.
Give me a bottle of something strong.
Brave warrior, looks like. Got 2 swords, see?
We going?
I'm a witcher. Heard you wondering about my swords. Well, one's for monsters. The other for humans.
Guys, please give us a big round of applause for one of my favorite people ever. It's the wonderful Mr. Doug Cockle! Hello, Doug. Please take a seat in my living room. Look at this gold couch just for you guys. Doug, how has it been at Insomnia Gaming Festival? How's your couple of days been?
It's been great. I love being here. I love these kinds of events because it's so positive. Everybody's here to celebrate all the stuff they love. It's fantastic.
Now, Geralt of Rivia, let's start there. Okay, so I asked Stepanie the same question. When people come to you, to your booth, to your table, what are the kind of things that they say to you? Do they get nervous, or do they ask you to say things in the voice? What kind of things do they say?
Sometimes they ask me to say things in the voice. And sometimes they are very, very nervous. I've had people cry. I've had people not be able to speak. I don't know if you've experienced any of that.
Yes, yeah? I actually will take a moment and be like, breathe with me, and I'll breathe 3 times with them. So yeah.
Yeah, I totally understand it though, because I've been on the other side too. I've met people who I really wanted to meet, who I really admire for whatever reason, and you get that nervousness. Sometimes you get the shakes. Sometimes you can't talk. you know, and all that stuff. So I've been there. So I try to be, you know, just really reassuring and comforting and open, and yeah, and I love it. And some people are just like whirlwinds. They're up there like, hi, I want to talk to you so much about this and that and the other, and when you were recording this, did that happen, and they're just going flat out, and you're like, whoa, 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 you want a print?
Do you ever get like super really nerdy Witcher fans that try and test your knowledge, like, and kind of ask you really deep questions about the lore?
Sometimes, but mostly I think they come understanding that there are, you know, people behind them. They can't take up too much time. I mean, it depends, because for me anyways, most of the time what they're interested in, they do ask all kinds of questions. You know, a lot of the questions are things like, you know, how long did it take you to record Witcher 3? What's it like to be a voice actor?
Yep.
How do you become a voice actor? That's actually quite a common one.
That's the big question. Like, I think a lot of people, I want to ask both of you this question actually. I think some people assume that voice acting is very different from acting, but it's exactly the same thing. You're still, why do people assume that, would you say, Doug?
I don't know. I suppose it's, I think I would have thought that as well if I hadn't trained as an actor, and you know, if I weren't an actor. It's the same as, you know, I have no idea what a surgeon actually does in the operating theater. So, yeah, but it's true. It's exactly the same. Acting is acting, whatever the medium is. It's the technical considerations that the performer has to take into account. Yeah. So, you know, if you're in a room with just a microphone, then you can't move too much. You have to think differently because you're using your imagination in a different, stronger way, because you don't have things like, you know, in theater and film and television, you have props, you have a costume, you have other actors to respond to, you have a location or a set, you know, you have real water to drink from a glass. When you're voice acting, you have none of that.
You have real water to drink.
No, we have real water to drink in the voice booth as well, yes. It's not imaginary water to drink. Gotta stay hydrated, man.
Yeah.
I imagine it's still like when you're in the booth on your own, I want to ask Stepanie this, there's a lot of, like you got to do all that. Does it take it out of you still as well? Do you still feel tired at the end of the day?
Okay, listen, Claire. I am probably one of the most physical human beings, and if you haven't met me at my booth, you should find out. I'm sure those of you will know. But absolutely, I don't know about you, Doug, but in the booth, I move a lot. Because I do believe that you can hear the difference. Like, you absolutely can hear the difference. And I remember the very first time that I took a class, I was at a workshop, and I remember doing a reading, and I was supposed to be like a mermaid or something, and I did the reading, and it sounded good, right? But you're not putting on a voice. You are a character. And I remember it was so simple. The director was just like, okay, now try it again smiling. Okay. That was it. And you heard a huge difference between just that. So yes, I get extremely physical. So with efforts, is what those are called, right? Oh, yeah. I just like really get into it. Like, I will sweat, I'll get tired, like I'm getting a workout no matter what I'm doing. So, yeah.
I think it does depend on what you're doing though, doesn't it? Because
an audiobook?
An audiobook, yeah. Don't move at all. Yeah. It's efforts, you have to move. And I was doing efforts just the other day in a session, and I kept getting told off by the engineer to stay on mic. Because I was moving too much. I was, you know, my voice was going off mic. And some studios now, they use headsets kind of like this, but they tape it to your forehead so it's like you're in a musical. And then you can move a lot more. So yeah, it really depends on the session, depends on what they're trying to capture, depends on the character.
Yeah.
Geralt is very still. When I record Geralt, I'm not like standing still. I'm just very conscious that I need to, well, he's a kind of a contained voice character, so I'm kind of containing myself.
You're commanding.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
You are authoritative.
I wanted to ask Doug, when you're making they're called efforts, I guess, when you're making like those kind of noises. Has there ever been a noise that you've made where you thought, oh, guys,
Wait, where
we
was
need
the
help,
noise
the
for
desk,
that?
the desk
Claire,
is broken.
Claire, where's the noise for the drop? What's that feeling? Oh, there. Interesting effort story.
Has there ever been a noise, Doug, that you've made where you thought, oh, that's a little bit strange? So, where it's maybe sounded a bit naughty, like, oh, ah.
Well, I'll tell you, how old is our crowd here? It's a family show, I know.
It's a family show.
Okay.
It's a family show, but
Is it like PG-16?
you know what we're talking about.
Yeah. So, like, I've often described, if you're having to do more intimate work in the voice booth, I've often described it, because you've got other people on the other side of the glass, you know, the director and the engineer, and sometimes a writer or a publisher or whoever, and I've described it before as kind of. I've described it as it feels kind of like being caught, you know, having fun by yourself by your mom. You know.
Or the other act, you're in the bathroom pooping.
Someone opens the door. Yeah.
Yeah, there's actually a director that I work with that'll say, it sounds like you're either pooping or fill in the blank, you know? So,
Having a nice time.
yes.
Hugging.
With your mom walking in. So, like, it really is, like, it does sound funny. It can, but it depends on the sound too.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I had a callback audition recently, and I had to legitimately give birth.
Oh.
So I gave birth in my booth the other morning, twice, because there was 2 takes. That was interesting. I've never given birth, but I imagined it so, and it was funny because the casting director was like, well, we wanted to be on this live just in case, you know, actors wouldn't go there. And I did my first take. She hadn't given me direction yet, and she's like, oh, and you know what, you will go there. She like sees me, I'm like grabbing onto the side of my booth, you know, there's like a Zoom call. Like, I can't imagine what that looked like. I try to put my recording software on top of her face so I wouldn't see her reaction. But you never know what you're gonna get.
Kind of now, I know this will never happen, but I kind of want to hear a girl give birth. Now, I'm not asking you to do it, don't worry, Doug.
What would this sound like? I'm right here, I'm here for you.
Kind of feel like that's the toilet
Now,
thing as well. Like,
I was
toilet,
just gonna say.
had a bad curry. It's fine.
Or is he having a poop?
Pooper baby. Same thing. Same thing. Welcome to WeChat, everyone. Guys, can we have a round of applause for our 2 guests? They're going to stay here for the rest of the show. Round of applause, please. I love these 2. And thank you very much here for those still coming in and listening. Now, we've got a very special guest joining us. Doug and Stephanie are going to stay here for the remainder of the show. And there will be a chance for audience questions as well at the end of the show. But for now, it's our 400-year-old magical reindeer pal, Rudy, here to ask us all a question that hopefully we'll be able to answer. Here's Rudy.
I've never seen it, but...
Hi, Rudy. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Rudy. How are you doing?
I'm swell, Claire. I'm happy to be back at Insomnia.
Oh, I'm glad. Everyone say hi to Rudy.
Hi, Rudy.
Rudy, they're waving at
Rudy.
you.
Oh my God, is that a picture of me?
And Stephanie and Doug are also waving at you. Is that a picture of you?
There's a photo of me.
Oh, wow. Okay, we'll address that shortly. Okay, Rudy is here to ask us a question.
That's hilarious.
So let's see if we can answer. Rudy, what question do you have for us? Rudy, we've lost audio. 1 second. Rudy, can you hear us?
Hey, can you hear me?
Okay, yes. Okay, so what question do you have for us, Rudy? What's the question?
Sorry, so I was wondering, what's a zombie?
What's a zombie? All right, okay. Well, let's see if we can get our guests to answer. Stephanie, do you want to take a stab at it first? What's a zombie?
It is a corpse of a human that once existed that has been infected by something that allows it to continue to live on.
Yes,
And
Doug.
it eats brains,
And eat
usually,
brains,
or flesh,
yeah.
And it eats brains. Okay, so Stephanie answered beautifully. I mean, she's got a lot of experience with zombies. But yes, it's basically a corpse that's been brought back to life. Why do you ask, Rudy? Why? We've lost audio again, Rudy. It's a really bad reception from the North Pole. I'm really sorry, you guys.
Oh no. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Why do you ask, Rudy? Why?
I'm a little embarrassed. I had a little accident at work.
An accident? Oh, is it like a North Pole related accident?
Not quite. I've started a new venture.
Oh.
It's my new company, Panisello Incorporated.
Oh, okay.
We make
Umbrella.
special sauces.
Special? So is it like a kind of cooking thing? What is it?
Yeah, you could say that.
All right, okay. So what happened at Parasol Incorporated?
Well, you know Santa's head of acquisitions, Daniel, the elf?
Daniel, yeah.
Well, he was testing one of our new sauces, and he got a little sick.
Okay. What do you mean by sick? Why did he get sick?
Well, I started Panisello Incorporated to create this new line of sauces that would make the elves real strong, you know? Make them more productive, like super elves.
Oh.
But it went wrong, and Daniel started feeling real sick. He couldn't sleep, he stopped talking, and he had all these weird cravings, Claire.
What do you mean by cravings? Well, like cravings for more sauce?
No, not exactly. You know elves are vegan, right?
Yeah.
Well, Daniel started stealing Santa's special bacon, and the other night he woke up Kevin the elf trying to chew off his leg.
He was chewing his leg. What do you mean?
I was a little concerned, you know. I just wanted to know what your thoughts on zombies were.
Doug, do you think this is related? Is Daniel a zombie?
Well, it could be that the sauce has inadvertently turned Santa into a zombie. That is a possibility.
Okay.
Could also be that he's just got really bad food poisoning.
Sure. Actually, yeah, we don't know what's in the sauce. What do you think, Stephanie?
It sounds like the beginning of The Last of Us almost.
With
It sounds like there may have been some sort of like mushroom situation, molding occurred within the sauce. It sounds like, I'm sorry, Rudy, but it sounds like Parasol is a very close cover-up of Umbrella.
Oh. Uh-oh. Hey, Rudy. Look, I'm going to say this to you, Rudy. Dude, right, instead of messing with, like, special sauces at Parasol Incorporated, like, maybe, you know, you should be putting your skills to use, you know, like spreading joy in the world, you know, festive stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Spreading joy? Claire, that's why I started Parasol Inc. in the first place, to spread joy. Joy through productivity. Because what better way to spread happiness than to make the population stronger and happier and more efficient? We're weak, Claire, weak. It's through Parasol Inc. that we will finally realize our full potential. We will finally realize...
Rudy. You zoned out again, Rudy. You zoned out. Are you okay?
Whoops, Claire. I must have been having one of my episodes again. Look, I better go. Daniel needs to feed again.
Daniel needs to what? What?
Sorry, Claire. Thanks for the info, though. It was real useful. Bye, Doug. And Stephanie, is it okay if I get you to sign my saddle? I'm a real big fan.
He wants you to sign his saddle, Stephanie.
His saddle.
Yeah, his saddle.
I have never been asked to autograph a saddle in my entire life, so okay.
I think Rudy likes you.
I think Rudy does like me. Now, Rudy, do you promise to keep Santa away?
As long as Santa's not sitting on that saddle. That's
No.
Because I don't want to have to shoot Santa. That would be a very sad Christmas.
Thank you very much, Rudy. We'll see you again soon.
Oh my goodness.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Everyone say goodbye to Rudy. Round of applause
Bye,
for
Rudy.
Bye, Rudy.
We're going to have to sign his saddle now.
Well, Steph, it sounds like you've got a job to do soon.
So, Doug, what do you think of Rudy and Parasol?
He's cute.
Yeah,
Yeah, he seems to have a thing for Steph.
sure.
There was a little heart on her picture up there.
I saw. You've got a fan.
Maybe that explains the strange love
Sounds
letters
outside
you've
my
been-
window.
Oh yeah.
And weird love letters and clippings of fur, not quite hair. I was confused. So
Shavings of antler.
no, there was. Oh, that's what that was.
That was. Yeah, we
antler
thought it was something
shavings.
else, but yeah, it's antler shavings.
I thought it was a good idea to get a PO box to allow people to send me things, but no offense, I'm sure Rudy's cool.
Sure.
Gonna have to tone it down a little.
Okay, I'll yeah, as long as he's not sending you a special sauce.
Yeah.
Now we're going to do a quick Instagram deep dive into Doug and Stephanie's Instagrams.
Oh wow.
Look at the fear in their eyes. I love it. I like instilling fear in my guests. So we're just going to do that quickly, and then we're going to go to audience questions. But if you don't get to answer or ask a question today, please go and see Doug and Stephanie at their booths, at their tables just up there. Okay, the first image is Doug's. Doug, The Witcher premiere. Now, that's the Netflix premiere. What was that like that night?
Yeah, well, there's a little bit of a story before that night, actually, which is kind of cool. I was, I can't remember what I was doing, but I was looking at my direct messages on Instagram, which I do. I don't respond to everything, obviously, but I do look at them. And there was this direct message from somebody claiming to be Henry Cavill. And I was like, oh, this can't be. You got to be kidding. And the message said something to the effect of, hey, Doug, love your work. I'd love it if you came to the season 1 premiere of the Witcher Netflix series. You know, let me know if you're interested, and I'll have my assistant get in touch. And I was like, this isn't Henry. This is some weirdo online doing their thing. So I replied, and I basically said, you know, just benefit of the doubt, if this really is Henry Cavill, then yes, please, I would love to talk to your assistant. And he wrote back, I can imagine why you think it's not me. I'll put her in touch and we'll see you at the premiere. And I was like, holy crud, this is Henry Cavill. So yeah, they put me in touch. It was Henry Cavill.
I love that.
He said, I can't prove it right now because I'm on a private jet to the Seychelles.
Oh, sure.
I was
Sure,
like,
Henry
yeah.
Cavill.
He really did. I can show you the. Well, I won't show you.
amazing.
Yeah, it was really cool. So I went to the premiere. He sent me. Well, his assistant sent me a ticket, and I went up to London, and I met him and his family and the rest of the main cast in a hotel bar that was cordoned off just for them, and it was really cool because Henry came up and he saw me and he goes, Doug. And he gave me a big hug. He said, I'm so glad you were able to make it. It's really great you're here. I'm going to be really busy until after the premiere, but afterwards, I really want to sit down and have a chat with you. And we did. It was lovely. So this is a picture taken of me just before the premiere. And yeah, and then I went and watched season 1, episode 1. And then we went to a premiere party with cast and crew. And Henry had a private room for his family and closest friends, and he invited me in. And over the course of about an hour and a half, 2 hours, we chatted all things Witcher, and I met his family. And he's a really nice guy. He was very generous and very genuine as well.
I love that. Can we have a round of applause for that
Awesome
first
experience.
Yeah, it was
Instagram
really
deep
cool.
dive? I
Lovely,
love
yeah.
that story. Okay, Stephanie's picture now. Let's get Stephanie's picture up on screen. Stephanie,
Spider on your face.
is that a real spider on your face? Please explain yourself. What is going on?
This whole time, it's been in my pocket. No, I'm kidding.
Actually.
Were you afraid? No. I love how you just randomly deep dive. Okay, so I was the host for Hot Wheels Gaming Garage, and so for Hot Wheels Company, so I was on this channel, and we would talk about like different things related to Hot Wheels. We had a, oh my gosh, what was it? Oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank on the video game with cars that you would like play with the ball. You would, oh my gosh, this is so
Oh,
bad.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah. I can't remember either.
Why is my...
What is it? Rocket League.
Thank you. We would do Rocket League, we would do Drive Ahead, we did like a bunch of like random fun games like that. Well, anyways, the challenges were that if you lost, then you would have a live creature on you. This one's actually tame. This is the tame one. There's another one where we were playing Drive Ahead, and in Drive Ahead, by the way, did you know that if tarantulas get nervous, they like shoot their little hairs out?
Oh no.
And it's like super uncomfortable for anyone. So I was like trying so like calmly to be like, it's okay, there's a spider on my face. Like, but in Drive Ahead, they put a box on our head, a glass box, and if you lost, they put massive hissing cockroaches in it. And then I had like hissing cockroaches while I was like trying to finish playing this game, and they would just like add more to the mix.
Oh my God.
So no creatures were harmed in the process of this. We did have people that were specifically trained with those animals and all that, but that's the story behind the Hot Wheels Gaming Garage challenges.
I'm never going to be a host of a Hot Wheels thing.
Oh, well done for that.
Ever.
Round of applause for just having a tarantula on your face.
Yeah, big ups, man. Tell you what.
Thank you very much, Doug and Stephanie, for the Instagram deep dive. It was pretty that was pretty painless, right? Like, because Doug went, oh shit.
I don't like spiders. I just, it's one of those things. Some people don't like.
But now it's time for audience questions. We don't have too much time, but we have a little bit of time for audience questions. So we've got a roaming mic, I think. I can't see. Sam, or God,
Ask
voice
us
of God,
anything.
Sam.
This is a true
We've got a few
AMA.
questions here. Can we come down to this person here? Now, my friend, please say your name really loudly into the mic and be really clear, because it's hard to hear from here.
Hi, I'm Kenny. I just want to ask, what do you think about AI-generated voices?
Can I first ask how many times you've been killed, Kenny?
Too many.
So what do you think about AI-generated voices?
Very passionate about this.
Yeah, me too. How deep you want to go on this?
We can go deep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we don't want to take up too much time, though, do we?
Yeah.
Okay, I think from Steph's reaction just now, I can probably say that both of us are pretty upset about the whole thing. There's a lot of reasons to be upset, and there are also reasons to not be upset. The way I feel about it is it's gonna happen. We're not gonna stop AI, so we have to learn to live with it. Not sure what that means yet. What I'm concerned about, and I imagine Steph is as well, is the unlicensed use of our voices through AI to do things that we don't agree with, which is entirely possible. And I imagine that you'll agree that you wouldn't want your voice, if you were a Christian, for example, to be used to promote non-Christian values. That's very mild. In my head, because I've been approached by multiple AI companies who want to put my voice on their platforms and make it available commercially to modders and things like that. And I'm tempted in some ways, because part of me goes, well, this is going to happen anyways. I might as well get on board, monetize it a little bit, because you can. It's what's going to happen. And just get on board with the technology. And another part of me is like, no, if they want to hire my voice, they can come to me. And I can do the work they want done for an appropriate remuneration. My greatest fear is that my voice ends up getting used for a political agenda that I do not agree with, or for something that is absolutely abhorrent, something that is racist or sexist or anti-Semitic, or I'll stop talking now because I'm probably saying some of the things, but let's get your voice in here.
I'm sorry, I'm just against it. I think it's a bit of a slap in the face. Do I believe that AI will continue, and in certain ways, yes, I'm good with it, but when it comes to anything that involves the arts, or anything that's gonna truly like rob people of their jobs or their work, I'm sorry, I'm very against it. I really am. And hey, you want AI? why don't you book me as your AI voice as a robot where I'm performing as an AI? Let's not pull away humanity from it, right? We are humans. The beautiful thing about humans is that we are flawed. We are not perfect. It is what makes it art. It is our vulnerability that makes it come out and gives real performances and real feelings that you can connect with. You cannot truly, truly, truly connect, I personally believe, wow, I'm going so intense with this, with AI, because it is not a human, it does not feel, it does not understand, and to steal and rip away from us, I think, is not fair.
Thank you for your question. That's a really interesting
Got really
question.
intense
Can we have a round of applause, please?
I totally agree with you. I totally agree.
Hands straight up in the air if you've got a question. Can we come down to the front, and then we've got one in like the 5th or 6th row here. So no, right down the front. Here. Yes, that's yeah. Hello, Philip.
Hello.
Right, straight into
Hello?
the mic
Oh,
so
yeah.
we can hear you.
My question is for Stepanie in a light-hearted way. If Sherry Bacon from RE2 was transported to Genshin Impact, how
Wait,
would...
sorry, where is it?
It's finding it very hard to hear on the stage. Yeah, go on
Hello?
really loud. Just don't be afraid.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yes, go for it.
If Sherry Bacon was transported to Genshin Impact, how would Cloud Retainer look after Sherry? Would she end up eating like herbs or something?
One is most impressed by your question. If one was to take care of Sherry Birkin, one would feed her quite a meal. She would be well fed. Oh, a plump little Sherry she would be. I would love on her and allow her to grow into her own self, but likely make fun of her all throughout the way. I don't know.
Thank
Probably
you.
along those lines.
Thank you, Philip. Thank you. We had a question here. Do you still have a question? Could we have a mic over here, please? And don't be afraid to be as loud as possible, okay? So just so we can hear you. What's your name and what's your question, friend?
Hi, I'm Jack.
Hi, Jack. Go for it.
This is a question for both of you. You both worked with some popular video game franchises. Now that you're, looking to the future and stuff like that, what existing video game properties would you like to work with in the future?
Oh, well, let's start with Doug. So any existing properties you would like to work with?
Oh, so many. I have to confess, I've always kind of wanted to play Batman.
Oh.
I mean, truthfully, I was on a list of the top 10 or 15 or whatever actors who someone would like to see play Batman, and I was like, yeah, I agree with you, man. I want to play Batman. That would be great. So yeah, I'd love to be in some kind of Batman future thing. That would be fun. What else? I've always enjoyed the Uncharted series. I like the RPG games, you know what I mean? That's the kind of thing I really enjoy, the fantasy narratives and not even fantasy, anything narrative. So I'd love to do something for Uncharted.
Oh, okay.
I mean, there's so many others I could mention, but I think, a future Batman game or a future Uncharted game, I would love to be involved in either of those.
Oh, I'd love to see you do
Or
one.
Mario Kart, just to go to the complete opposite end of the spectrum.
I love that. Okay, Stepanie, what about you? Anything that comes to mind?
I love Avatar: The Last Airbender, so I'm a big fan. So that would be kind of fun if there's anything I could touch on that. Obviously, The Last of Us, I don't know if it's in competition with Resident Evil or not, but I absolutely adore The Last of Us. And then, yeah, I've had a chance to kind of work on some of the ones that I really like up to date, or like a Wonder Woman, or like some sort of Wolverine. If they could have like a female, like a true female Wolverine,
That would be so cool.
I'm in. So I think that would be it, yeah.
Thank you. That's a really good question. Is it Jack? Thank you, Jack. Give a round of applause
Thanks,
for Jack and everyone that asked the question today. Thank you very, very much. We don't have any more time for questions, but these guys are here all day today, and they're here all day tomorrow, right? And they're at the meet and greet area, and I'll probably be hanging around bothering them as well, just like, ugh. So come and say hello to these guys, and if you didn't get to ask a question or you were too shy, go and say hello. I wanted to thank the audience for being here today, and very importantly, the audience at home who are watching along on Twitch. Can we have a huge, I want them to hear you, huge round of applause for those at home. Yay. Yes! If you're at home right now, please spam out your Wii Squad emotes, yeses, love hearts, all of that. Also, I would like to thank Doug and Stephanie for joining us live at Insomnia 70. Again, they're here all weekend. Make sure you follow Doug and Stephanie on Instagram and Twitter as well for all of their updates. Can we have a huge round of applause for these guys? I love these two. And finally, thank you very, very much to Insomnia for allowing us to do this nonsense on stage. I cannot thank Insomnia enough for letting me play and letting me be weird, and having Rudy transmit live from the North Pole. Please follow WeClaire here on Twitch, Instagram, and WeClaire on Twitter. Thank you very much. This has been a Wee Chat. Good day to you, my friends. Bye-bye.